hospital information system. This system includes inpatient and outpatient, and also it's connected with a lab system and radiology system, and it's also connected with a pharmacy, and all these and all transactions come from these all sectors is connected to the back office of the hospital to be connected with the inventory and purchasing and HR. We can start now a full cycle in our system. Here we can see all the patients registered on our system. If we click on any patient, we can see his details. If we click edit to see, here we register all the personal information, address, date of birth, blood type, nationality, and any personal information. As we can see here, it is a medical record of this patient. This patient has a medical number, it is a file number, and each visit that patient come is recorded here. This is all the visits that patient come to our hospital. Here we can see this visit was with this doctor, and it was in this date. The cycle starts by the reception. When this patient come to our hospital, the receptionist can search for the patient by any criteria. He can search by name or any other information registered in this patient. If we find the patient, we can now click to open a new visit for this patient. If we did not find this patient, we can create a new medical file for this new patient. In our case, we will create a new visit for this patient, for this existing patient. Here we will register this patient in a visit for an outpatient clinic. Here we can select the clinic, and each clinic we can select the doctor attached to this clinic. Each clinic has availability time. If we click to see, we can see here the physician, and in the configuration we can set the time available for this patient, for this clinic. If we save, the system now will create a new visit for this patient. This is the new visit. As we can see, the system is automatically create an consultation service for this patient as he comes to our clinic. All the service will be delivered for this patient will attach it automatically to this sale order. If we click to see this sale order, this is an automatically created sale order, and any service this patient will be automatically added to this sale order. As we can see, currently this patient just have a consultation service for this clinic. During the visit, we can order a lab request or a radiology request or any other surgical request. We can order it here from order. We can now request a lab request for this patient. We can add item here or select from the list. We can, for example, select this lab request, this lab test. Now this lab request is added here, and it is also attached automatically to this sale order. This sale order accumulates any service delivered for this patient. Now the invoicing or accounting department can collect the fees from the patient by creating an invoice for the services delivered for this patient. We will invoice this patient for all the services delivered for him. Click validate, and we now will collect the money by clicking register payment. We will select the payment method. This patient pay by cash. Now we click register payment. Now the invoice for this visit is currently paid. If we return to the visit, here we can, as a system admin, we can control the workflow. In this demo database, we have a validation that we need any invoice for the orders in lab or radiology to be paid first before we start testing the sample. Now, based on this condition, now the lab request will appear to the laboratory after be paid. So now laboratory team can work on the test. Here we can see lab request, paid requests. He will find now the request ordered from this visit. This is as we can see, this request is requested for this patient in this visit number 65. Its status now is pending. If we edit, Here we can as we can see, we can now track the sample collection date and time. After the sample come to the lab, the laboratory team changes the status from sample collection from no to yes. As we can see, it automatically detects the time and date the that the laboratory team click changes the status from no to yes, and this is difference in minutes. There is 4 minutes different between the sample requested and between the test requested and the sample collected. Now the laboratory team can set the result come from the analyzer. Here, this lines is pre-configured in this lab test in the configuration of the laboratory. Here we define that the CBC test has this criteria, and this is the normal range for it, and this is the unit that we measure it. Here we register the real uh, results come for this patient. This patient in hemoglobin get this number, and this baby BCV get this number. And we can attach any file or image, and the laboratory team can also add any notes related to this result. And now we save. Now this result is automatically attached to the patient visit. If we return to the visit, here we add a shortcut for all the active visits. Here, this is all the visits that currently open, and this means that we are currently service this patient now, and this patient did not left the hospital or the clinic. Here in the visit, as we talk, all the actions, all the service, all the orders is automatically attached to this cell order, and also can be uh, printed if we need to print through this visit. Here we can see print. He can print any lab tests done for this patient in this visit, any radiology report, any and this is the patient card we will see now. If you click for lab report, now the system will print. This is the lab test that we previously uh, see, and this print preview can be configured based on the hospital demand. So we can now see the patient card. This card for printing a barcode label, and as we can see, this is the label. Uh, this is the label that can be printed and attached to the hand of the patient. This can be with the patient through all the visit. This is useful for inpatient purpose. If the patient stay with us for a long time, we can use this barcode to to see any information about his medical information by scanning this barcode.